Are we live? I think we're live. Hey, everyone. Dr. Kennard, Tobin Templeman, Dr. Tom Foolery. We're just talking about shit sleep and weird sleep cycles. And yeah, I had shit sleep last night. I woke up every REM cycle, hour and a half, 2 hours or so. And Tobin was just talking about how you could just be up for a day or two, right? And then crash.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like I have a little cycle. It happens like every 2 weeks or a week and a half. I'll have a night to where I cannot go to sleep, and I'll be up for the majority of it, and then I'll stay up through the day because I have responsibilities to take care of, and then I crash and I'm
Yeah.
out, for the night,
Yeah.
and then I'm good for a little while, and then bam, I don't know. It's just a vicious cycle. It seems like.
Yeah, I know that if I am too jazzed up, because I was working up until the time I went to bed last night on stupid stuff, right? The girlfriend was gone for most of the night. She was hanging out with a friend of hers who was in from out of town. And so I ended up watching a documentary on Ivan the Great. That's Ivan the Fourth to everyone, you know. And then I started watching.
Uh,
What was the
I,
second?
Ivan the Third is the great. Ivan the
Yeah.
Fourth is the terrible.
Oh, okay. Is it? Is that true?
Yes, it is.
Is it really? Uh, so now I'm going to have to take a gander at that. But well, Ivan Fourth is definitely the terrible right there. Um, but I also watched a documentary that I didn't complete on. I didn't complete it, and it was about Henry VII, actually, um, the king that, of course, well, not of course, but the king just before Henry VIII, which I didn't know that much about. So I thought that was yeah, and then I went to sleep and my brain was just too active. And so, yeah, I got shit sleep. I was going to go to the gym this morning and I didn't. And maybe I'm just talking really, maybe this is like my mini manic part right here. You're right. You're right, Dr. Tom Foolery. There is Ivan the Great is the third, Ivan the Terrible is the fourth. Now, tell me this, all right? As I understand it, in Russian, there is a small difference, not that much a difference between great and terrible. And that is not even a joke. As I understand it, the title terrible and the great are very closely linked. Is that true? Is that something that's real, or is that something I
Uh,
just heard that's myth?
I'm not familiar enough with the Russian to confirm or
Well,
deny that.
see, now we just need someone who is an expert in Cyrillic. You never find someone who's an expert in the Russian language when you need them.
Yeah, my favorite Ivan nickname is Ivan the First.
Just because you like, what was he? Just Ivan the First? Was that? I mean, was
No,
he like?
it was the money bags.
Oh, the money bags.
Yeah,
Oh. What's up,
Ivan
dude?
Ivan the Second is kind of boring. He's Ivan the Fair.
What's up,
Ivan the
B?
No one cares about Ivan the Fair. You know, people care about Ivan Moneybags, Ivan Great, Ivan Terrible. What's up, simply secular Dave?
Dave. We
And
haven't
we
seen Dave in here for a while.
we haven't seen Dave in here for a while, but I'm not going to shame Dave. You'll notice that my main concern is that everyone's alive who showed
Yeah,
up.
right.
You choose to come on, you choose not to come on. That is absolutely cool. But you know, if you fall off the face of the cliff, um,
If
I
it's
think you're
been,
good.
2 or 3 days since you've heard me, there might be something wrong with me.
Yes, dude. Yeah.
Check
Well,
in on me, please.
yeah. Well, the good thing is that there's Kendra in the chat a lot of the times too. So I think she would probably mention something like
Mhm.
Tobin's in the hospital due to, I don't know, some kind of solar power related injury.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was so stressed out yesterday. I had messed around with settings in my computer. So I had myself all worked up because I messed with something and I made something not work anymore. And I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, I got myself in trouble. I was flustered. It got to a point where I had to like shut it down and just go try to get my mind off of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yes, I can definitely understand that. I am loath to actually, I have a conservative bias, small c conservative bias, and most of us do. Um, that the things that we are used to, we value probably a little bit more highly than we should, right? There's a certain inertia. So for me, going into the settings, that's anxiety provoking for me.
See, I know enough to get myself into trouble.
Yeah, dude.
Man.
Yeah. Knowing enough to get yourself into trouble. Yeah.
But yeah.
That's about as much as I know about my penis, to tell you the truth. Know enough to get myself into trouble. That's about it.
That's good stuff. So
So
I heard that you got 2 shots, Tom, and I thought you were talking about, different shots. But you got your vaccines?
I got the COVID booster shots and flu shot.
yeah, I did mine the same day too.
Right.
Do you have any side effects?
Shoulder a little bit sore, but nothing that bad.
Yeah. I felt minor dizzy, a little bit of dizzy after my booster shot, like the next day, and my arm ached a little bit too. That was about it. I mean, the second shot knocked me out, but the booster shot wasn't anything major. And now kids are going to be able to get their shots, at least the Pfizer shot, and that's positive.
Yes. Progress is being made. That is for sure,
Yeah.
We can't gloss over that too at times, because there is so much stupid shit out there.
So much. Once I tell you, there was like this moment of insight that I had when I realized that 85% of everything was basically bullshit. When you look at the news, most of that is news porn, right? Because 24-hour news, companies are there to get eyeballs. And that means even if the news is shite, they're still going to put it on TV if it can get them eyeballs and can, satisfy advertisers. And it's the same way with financial news. Most of that is financial porn. You look at CNBC or something, and it's like most of this, is bullshit or irrelevant.
There's this dude who just like yells a whole bunch. I can't remember his name, but one of those financial dudes.
Yeah.
And he's just like it's like something like Hardball or some
Hard money. Yeah. He was the same guy that Jon Stewart raked over the coals after the financial crisis in 2007. I forget his name, bald dude, and wears the suspenders, thinks he's living in fucking 1986 and he's Gordon Gekko in fucking Wall Street or something. But yeah, that guy's always yelling, and it's very shticky. It's a caricature of a caricature of what a lunatic would look like.
Yeah.
Jim Cramer, thank you. If you haven't seen Jon Stewart basically rhetorically rake Jim Cramer over the coals back in 2007, 2008, it's well worth your time.
I'm definitely gonna go and check that out.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Merciless Stewart was.
Stewart is awesome.
Yeah,
I really do enjoy his interviews and stuff like that. Yeah. There's one that I've seen that was here recently, and I can't remember who did it, but it was a good talk.
Yeah. Dave says the show is Mad Money.
Yeah, I think that is it.
Yeah, it's Mad Money because it's separating fools from their money. So it's Mad Money. Yeah. That's just financial porn in all reality. Not even, not even as satisfying as free porn that you see on the internet, everyone. That's the shameful thing about it. You guys have anything going on for the weekend?
Helping my parents pack up more stuff from their townhouse. The closing is going to be middle of November, and they really need to get everything out.
So the clock is ticking.
Yep. So that's a big thing I'm doing this weekend.
Woohoo! How about you, Tobin?
Man, I actually, there is a person named Overprotected Atheist, and she sometimes does cartoons on her channel. And the reason why I interact with this person, I met her on the Tang channel.
Oh yeah.
We were both on the same show. They had brought us on for Turned Up, so I've kind of kept up with her, and she hadn't done the cartoons in a while, and I was like, hey, what if I wrote a dialogue, and kind of like, and she actually dug the idea, and then I've been working on that, and I wrote one up, and she approves of it. So I'm going to be doing voiceover. I'm going to play 2 characters.
Oh, dude, that sounds fantastic. Job well
Yeah.
done. I'll have to check it out. Oh, yeah, an Overprotected Atheist. I'm actually writing that down because if I don't write this down, I'm going to forget about it.
I first saw OP Atheist on Neil the 604 Atheist channel.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Neil knows everybody. And Neil's a nice guy, too, and people like him. I aspire to be Neil someday.
Heck yeah.
Wild Eden says it's the 5th of November, the gunpowder, treason, and plot. It's Guy Fawkes Day. All around England, there's going to be the burning of the guys. That's where we get the term guy, by the way, is from Guy Fawkes. That's how I understand the etymology of the word, the origin of the word guy. And if you don't know the full story, Guy Fawkes was a Catholic. He was Catholic, and I believe it was in Elizabethan England, Elizabeth I, who was Protestant, and he wanted to blow up Parliament. He put a bunch of gunpowder underneath Parliament to blow it up, and his plot was discovered. And so now it's to commemorate the discovery of the plot and the burning of guys. It's Guy Fawkes Day. Useless information. Here's that video, everyone, of Jon Stewart with Jim Cramer. That's the link that Dave put in the chat, in case you want to check it out later on.
Yeah, you got to click on that link and kind of save it. I have a couple of times somebody has said something to me in the chat, and I tried to go back to the chat after the show has ended, and for some reason, I don't know why, but the chat, it doesn't show up for another 24 hours or something like that.
Dude, I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea why. I mean, I don't know, I just shrug my shoulders and say it's just another aspect of technology that I do not understand.
Yep.
But it's definitely the fact that immediately after the show, and you're right, for about 24 hours, thank you, Simply Secular Dave. Yeah, the chat is not visible. I appreciate it, Dave. Yeah, so what am I doing? I don't know. Probably nothing that important. I think I'm I know. The girlfriend and I'm gonna level up. If you didn't think I was a middle-aged white guy, let me tell you, I'm just gonna confirm that in all of your minds. We are gonna go cidering.
I thought you were an elderly white guy.
Something right here for you. No, actually, the girlfriend and she made a similar comment the other day, Dr. Tom Fillery, and I had to bring out exactly a definition of what middle-aged is, and I'm on the latter side of middle-age, but still middle-aged. I will not be officially old for quite a while. So yes, we are, though I imagine we'll be meeting a lot of people in that age range while we go cidering in the western part of the state, or the central part of the state at least, on Saturday. In my defense, I will be drinking and I will be intoxicated. I think she'll be the designated driver, though she doesn't know it yet. Don't tell her.
So they're just different groups of people that make their own have their own personal recipe, or go visit?
There are a bunch of cider farms, apple farms in the central and western part of Massachusetts, and
I thought they were called orchards.
Thank you. Thank you. Orchards, right? You don't even like hard cider. No, I'm hoping that there's going to be some beer. And we do have a lot of nips in the house that I can carry along with me in case I really need to. Right? Advanced middle age. Really, Dave? Really? Is that what we're calling advanced middle age? Wow. Bust on Andy Day. What's up, Kendra? And Dr. Mordecai says, I'm burning a few people in a big fire this weekend. A bunch of guys. Then, all right. Very good. Yeah. So the orchards, the distilleries are in, there's alcohol, and I may not be drinking a whole lot of cider, but I'm hoping on beer. That's what I'm hoping on,
Right on.
And on Sunday, I'm meeting up with a bunch of my friends and doing stuff. Not drinking, probably, since I'll be drinking on Saturday. I can't do back-to-back drinking days. It's that's a little bit too hard. On my, what was the official term, Dave? The advanced middle-aged body that I have. Yeah. Yeah. So that's me. And of course, I'll still be writing on the blog and doing stuff. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I have too much work. And especially it rained incredibly hard over here, so it kind of like threw me back on what I could be doing.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm playing makeup this weekend, really.
Do you have the whole house? Do you have the whole setup now? The new place are you in the new place? Is it all wired? Is it all set up?
Man, no, I'm not complete. Like, and I work on things for stages, and then I'll move to the next part. Like right now, I've moved to the outside of the house, and I started doing trim work on the outside.
Sure.
Sometimes I hit a point to where I can't go any further on a project until I gain a certain material or tool or something. So I'll just pause there and then move to find something else that I can move forward on. And I just keep on going. But I am pretty freaking close. Like, I am pretty close.
Is a project like that ever really done?
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna put a stamp and approval on it one day. There's going to be where there's been enough. But yeah, I do understand that idea, though, that some projects just seem to never end.
Yeah.
You can always do more.
Yeah.
The trick is figuring, the real metric is enough. Have I done enough?
Mm-hmm.
Is it enough for what I need it to be? Yeah. Take care, B.
Later, B. Yeah. Sometimes being your own critic and being too hard on yourself will get in the way. We should be picky. I am that way with my art and stuff like that. Like, I try to be as precise as possible, but at a certain point, you're kind of either kind of spinning your wheels or like punching a brick wall, and you're just not going to go any further. Like, just relax and enjoy it.
You raise a good point. What you're saying implies that how do we know that we're doing okay, right? How do we know that what we're working on doesn't suck? And this is what, and I've talked about this before. It's important to have people around you that tell you that you suck. People that are free, that feel comfortable, that you have a level of trust, and you respect their opinion. And they're not just telling you suck just for the sake of telling you that you suck.
Yeah.
That there are certain things that you are not doing as well as you think you are, because especially in art, right? When you're first starting out, you probably think you're a lot better than what you really are. And it's important to have people around you telling you, no, no, maybe you're not as good as you think you are.
That's one reason why I really enjoyed playing in a band with the group of guys that I played with for the longest time. It was like that. It was always a constant challenge. But like in a healthy way, we would find something that was just like, oh, can we do this, or can you do that? You know, and it was, you know, it makes an obstacle, you know, something to overcome.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the Dunning-Kruger of art.
The Dunning-Kruger of art. Yeah, yeah. There's a curve. There's definitely there is definitely a curve of it. Probably starts, you know, if you're thinking about how good you are and how good you think you are in terms of how early you are in the process of learning and becoming good,
Hmm.
and then, you know, there's a kind of a, like, maybe that, I don't know if that makes sense to anyone, whatever, but more like a roller coaster, right?
Yeah,
You go up, you then, oh, I'm great, and then you realize, oh, maybe not, and then and then you can kind of, like, if you're lucky, if you stick at it, if you practice in a meaningful way, that you might understand how good you are, or become good. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it does level out because, like, really, right now, I don't care who it was. If they just like started listening to my music and told me I was complete shit and everything, I wouldn't give them 2 seconds of the day. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even bat an eye. If
Yeah.
somebody came up to me and then gave me some kind of criticism and were like, you know, could you do it this way? Could you arrange it this way? You know, or gave me some kind of, you know, an obstacle to
Yeah.
overcome, I would think about it. I would be like, can I do that? I would question myself and, you know, try
Yeah.
to apply it.
I think that when people, well, you know, people are afraid to give criticism because, of course, the fact that we have bad brains, and that, you know, typically when you give someone criticism, a critique, then they, at the first pass, can easily just, you know, just dissuade, you know, just completely ignore it or dismiss it, right?
Right.
Um,
Because they kind of take it insulting in a way.
right.
Hmm.
So that's why, and so the when I hear people say things like, "Have you thought about it this way?" That might be a way of providing criticism without, in an oblique manner, without,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
attacking a person's ego defenses directly.
And it's hard
Yeah.
to necessarily always differentiate between, is this criticism from an informed perspective or just criticism from ignorance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can be hard to distinguish at times too.
Well, this is true, and that's why that's only like an opening kind of, that's just a way to start a conversation, right? When
Hmm.
someone says something like that. So when they say, Andy, let's say in my case, you know, as someone who I know and who I respect their opinion, it's like, so Andy, you could be doing something differently, and it would make you less sucky. It's like, well, what does that mean? I'm intrigued, and so I
Hmm.
want to hear more about that. And that's, you know, starts off this kind of conversation.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
one of the guys I hang out with, I'm hanging out with on Sunday. He was part of the screenwriters group I belonged to for a number of years, and he always called himself the Russian judge, right? Because he would always be willing to tell people in a very good way, but in a blunt way, what's wrong, what he felt was wrong with the script, and definitely someone who I respect their opinion, and I respect their honesty too at the same time.
The story matters. I got in a fight with the friend.
Chris Mary says, I got in a fight with a friend over my blog. The only wrong way I could do it is not do it. He can focus on his gossip and bully channel and leave me alone. Yeah, gossip and bully channel. I'm not really interested in either one of those two things, gossip and bullying.
Yeah. Sometimes people think that you have to do it the way I want it, without
Yes.
regards of how you yourself actually want to do things.
Yeah.
Uh, no, there are multiple ways of doing things. It doesn't have to be the way any
There are.
random person wants me to do things.
And the thing is, the way how things work might actually, you know, you can win ugly. You can, you know, you can win something
Hmm.
um, without being beautiful.
Yeah.
Or it being elegant, you know. Simply Secular Dave goes, Russian Judge, why isn't there a meh button between the like and dislike buttons? That's a good question. Well, that's a very good question too. I just want to say that when I think about putting a real effort into making something in terms of art, it's like, how do you make the leap from being good into something more than good, right? How can you go from good to great? And that's because a lot of people can do good. A lot of people can do good. You just got to look at a bell curve, right? But how do you get to another level? And that's when I do think about it, about creating, like on the blog, for an example, or writing a short story, or doing something more serious, or even writing a good joke. It's like that's what I think about. Or even doing a shitty meme. It's like, how can I make something good into something better than good? What's up, Theo? The show is what, from 9 to 9:30, or 9 to 9:25. That's the normal show, right? The Disappointed Cat Morning Show, and this starts at 9:30 to 10:30. I had to shift this. I had to shift the schedule around when I started this job about a month ago. It's been a little bit over a month. I had to shift the timelines around a bit. And just to let you know that we're switching the clocks here in the States. We are falling back an hour. So that might affect you out there in non-America. We switched to winter time here. Yeah, we're switching clocks around. I think it's on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always switch it at 2 a.m. on Sundays. So when we fall back, there's 2 a.m.s.
Two 2 a.m.s.
We go from 2 to 3 and then go back to 2 again. And
well, the real benefit is that it gets to be dark at 4:30 in the afternoon, at least here. That's the real.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I do like about summertime. I hate the fucking heat. There's not many things I hate, but I fucking hate the fucking heat. But the time stays until like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It's still daylight. I have a little bit of light to where, so I can push longer. But I don't know.
The times I was in Scotland, visiting, one of the nice things, odd things too, was that the time of year I was at, it was still light out at like 10:30, dusky. It was like dusky out at like 10:30 at nighttime. So it was weird coming out of the pub after being in the pub for a long time. It's like, oh, there's still some light around. How weird is that?
yeah, they're very far north there.
They are, indeed.
A lot of people don't realize just how far north the England, Scotland, all those places are compared to the United States.
Yes, they are pretty fucking north. That's what I hear cartographers say. Pretty effing north.
Man, it would be wild to like have like more than one day of nighttime, like how like Alaskan, like some northern places are, where you have this extended. That would be a trip.
Yeah. Good for vampires, right?
Right?
30 Days of Night.
Dude, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, yeah. If you haven't read the graphic novel, everyone, and if you're into vampires, if you're into graphic novels, it's definitely, worth taking a look at. The movie was meh. I'm a fan of the vampire genre, so I saw the movie. But the graphic novel is pretty good. I will tell you this, is that when it becomes light, when we switch the clocks back, I go through this. I would call it hypomanic. Hypomanic, yeah. There's a little bit more juice in the system with me. Yeah, I get a little bit more creative, get a lot more energy when there's more light. In fact, what I should do is get myself one of those light panels that give me real light, like the sunlight light artificially, and that might keep me jazzed up throughout the year. I don't know. I lived in Alaska. It was weird.
Yeah, Kendra had a period of time where she lived up there too. She really wants to be able to take me there.
Yeah.
I think I could handle it for a little while, but I don't know about those colds. You know, it's like I've never experienced that kind of cold. I don't know how well I would handle it.
Yes. And I don't think global warming is going to warm things up enough anytime, well, soon, to make it more palatable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets rather cold here in Minnesota in the winter.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
The water will moderate the coastal areas, but here in the center of the continent, it it swings wildly. We have over 100-degree Fahrenheit summers at times, and we get down to like -40 at times in the winter.
Yeah, dude, that sucks. There's no doubt about it. I am happy to say that my mother, she lives up in, my biological mother, she lives up in New York State, and that she is heading down to winter residence in North Carolina. She was going to stay up here for a bit longer, but I think she made a wise choice because she's old. You know, if I am older, middle age, then she is like older. So her going down to North Carolina is good. Makes me feel good that she won't have to fight the cold. Yeah.
Yeah, I stocked up a bunch of wood. Actually, that's one of the projects I've been working on. We had a tree that fell. We knew it was going to, but it was kind of like it kind of out of the way.
Yeah.
So I just kind of let the natural process happen, and I've been breaking that apart and stacking that up and
With a
wrapping it
chainsaw?
up, keeping it white. Yeah.
Yeah, with a chainsaw.
Chainsaw, and then I break it into smaller chunks with the axe. Yeah.
No, that's exercise, right?
Yeah.
I've heard rumors about exercise and that it's good for you, and that you know,
it's not horrible. You know,
right,
keeps
right.
joints moving. Yeah.
Right. Theo says I can deal a lot better with the heat than the cold. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Now that I've lost, you know, I will tell you this. Now that I've lost the weight, I can deal okay with the heat. When I was heavier, I was schwitzing. I was sweating quite a bit. Well, for me, and I don't sweat a whole lot, but I don't like it. As I've said, I don't like feeling like I have a body. I don't like it. I know that's a weird thing, maybe a spectrum-y thing. I don't know. I don't feel like I don't like tight-fitting clothes. And so, yeah, heat is better than cold. I don't know about that, Dave. I don't know.
Man, you know, if you're sweating a whole lot and you can't escape it. Now, this is if you got air conditioning to go off into, you know, I don't think you're really fully appreciating the heat. Like if you've actually spent a significant amount of time, it gets very unbearable. Like cold can be, but you can always put more clothes on, and like there's all kinds of little things that you can get to warm yourself. Like, but the heat, and if you do not have air conditioning to go off into, the sweating, you will get rashes and stuff if you're not cleaning yourself enough. And it's just miserable. It's freaking miserable when you're just wet all the time, and you like try to dry yourself off, and then you're still wet. It's
yeah. And I just want to say that I'm never sexy wet. Like you can say like, well, maybe the person gets sexy wet, then that makes it better. It's like I'm never sexy wet, never in my entire life. I've never, I'm not.
And not with sweat, not with sweat. I mean, I don't know.
I think some people can pull it off.
There may be a few, you know. I'll grant that for sure.
A nice thing I like about when it gets on the colder side is that's when my cat is much more likely to snuggle up and curl up in my lap.
No good. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, man, Damien was awesome for that. He was the best cuddle bug.
Yeah.
Man.
See, now I just assumed that Switzerland would be cold. But Theo says Switzerland is between Italian warm climate and German moderate climate. Good in the middle, huh? All right. I did not know that. I thought it was just like generally chilly, which I'm not against.
Yeah, there's like that fall and that springtime that there's that certain where it would be so awesome if it would just stay in that zone. That would be sweet.
Yeah. If I, to tell you the truth, if I had the money.
That reminds me of the movie Pleasantville.
Oh, Pleasantville.
Right.
Yeah.
Where they have the weather person who's like 72 degrees every day, all the time.
Oh, yes. So I just want to say that if, in case you ever message me on Facebook or email me, you will notice that sometimes I really get back to people on fast. But on the other hand, there are times that I don't. And that's not because, it's not, that's all on me and me just not knowing and doing things smart. Right? I am just a relatively disorganized people. I'm a disorganized people. I just want to be honest with you about that. Mercurial, ADD, all of those things, all wrapped up into one. So if I don't respond immediately, sometimes I need another tug. I need another slap to remind me that I'm supposed to be doing a thing.
I had been talking. It said previously that I haven't been messing with Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
But I have made it a thought that on Sundays while I'm sitting, because most of the Sundays I sit and I'll watch a lot of the ACA shows, a lot of the atheist shows that I really like to keep up with.
Uh-huh.
I'll just hang out and watch those on Sundays. I take a chill. That's my. But I've decided that on that day I will go through and check all my Facebook and Twitter, make that a part of that chilling out. I'll just sit there and correspond with people on Sundays with those two apps.
That's good. Yeah. It's easy to get wrapped up in the scene, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's something to be said about being able to say no and saying that, here are my boundaries. This is what I'm willing to contribute, or this is how much I can engage realistically.
Spreading yourself too thin, that can.
Dude. I've been doing this kind of gig for like well over a decade at this point with the blogging, and I just started doing this like a little bit over a year ago. But it's really about pacing yourself, I think, just like any other creative venture, right? Or any venture at all. It's about what's your, where are your limits? Where are your boundaries? How much are you willing to share? How much time are you willing to put into an activity or a project? Yeah.
I only check email or Facebook or any of that stuff when I'm actually at my computer. I don't have it do anything to my cell phone ever.
Yeah.
I don't have Facebook installed on my cell phone whatsoever. Technically I have the email thing on my phone, but it only does anything if I actually open it up and intend to look at it. It doesn't message notification me at all. So
yeah. Krista Maria says, I'm burnt out on debates. I want to quit smoking. People are stressing me out and I'm stepping back. Yeah. Once I have a copy of the Taoist tract, the Tao Te Ching. It's kicking around here somewhere, and written by the mythological Lao Tzu, I believe. And I always like saying this quote, the Tao is like cooking a small fish, because if you don't put too much heat, the fish isn't going to be cooking. But if you put too much heat to it, it's just going to burn up. So I try to work in that sweet zone, right, of me being good at what I do and not pushing myself to, I push myself, sure, but not to an extreme where I just consistently suck whatever I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I've bitten off more than I can chew with certain jobs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I did it one time with the satellite company. I had taken a job, and I was just seeing the dollar signs.
Yeah,
I
dude.
was like, whoa, I'm gonna make a lot of money off of this job. Like, there's a lot of custom work to do.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it took me way longer to complete. And I eventually ended up having to fucking ask for help and getting other people involved. So the big dollar signs that I was seeing was just like I don't know, kind of a tease or something. I wasn't being real.
It's almost as if the system that's baked into the system, right? To get people to commit and to work. It's like, hey, look at all this money you're gonna get. You just have to. It's a Faustian bargain. It's a Faustian bargain. You just got to sign on the dotted line and agree to doing all this crap. And it's like, wow, I didn't realize that all this crap means all this crap. Well, I got to agree with Simply Secular Dave. I don't mind the quality of debates about relevant topics of concern, but some of the shouting matches about nonsense are too bottom of the barrel for me to watch and enjoy. I'm with you on that, Dave. I'd rather watch a documentary than listen to people screaming at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've kind of gone through phases. For a while, the debates were something that had my attention.
Yeah.
I was intrigued by it. I wanted to hear it. But once there's a certain point where you like, I'm not going to say that I've heard every argument, but I've heard a lot of the major ones, and I'm very familiar with them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I know where I stand on my position, and it, I don't know.
So, what's up, 420? What was the first story about the pretty blonde? Well, or the blonde white girl who's in jail, going to jail. That was the first story.
Yeah. We all know Andy's preferences.
Yes. Anti-fascism. That's what. There was another amazing, respectful debate about moral realism versus anti-realism yesterday on the PSF channel. Oh, good.
PSF channel.
What is the PSF channel, theoretically? Every once in a while, I'll see, I'll click onto Twitter and I'll see something from, like, let's say, Rage, and Rage is talking, and I got a little bit from Rage, and I have to see what he's doing on his channel about calling out atheists who are, I forget the term he used, unethical, I think, maybe, perhaps, or bigots. I think he might have used the word bigots, and I'm like, oh, that sounds like fun. I am intrigued about that. That sounds like a little bit of Schadenfreude or issues I can find interesting. Oh, here it is. The Promethean Frontier by Josh, Kat the Humanist, and Mike Carey and Wes. All right, the Promethean Frontier. Interesting.
Oh, whoa, hang on. Yeah, I'm from. I know those people.
Yeah.
I've seen those people on other shows and stuff like that, but I did not know that they have. I'm gonna. Yeah, that seems that is intriguing. That's got my attention.
The Promethean Secular Frontier. Long name, but great people. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the one with does Bryce have something to do with that, with the Tang?
I don't know.
For some reason, that is now starting to ring a bell.
I will say that when I woke up early this morning and I flicked on my computer to try to get my meditative video to help calm my brain down and get back to sleep, I think Oz was doing something on his channel. I think he was doing a stream, and it's like, wow, how about that? Yeah, Bryce as well on that channel, the Promethean Frontier, and the Bryce is right. Yes, is Octane, indeed.
Right on. Yeah, see, that's something that I've just became aware of, but I have not yet gotten to take the time to check that out yet.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, though.
Yeah. Well, with I mean, it becomes, once again, it's a question about how you're going to invest your time in terms of content, right? About what you can watch, how much time you have.
Yeah. Far too
Yeah.
content to watch all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a.
So Christian Mario says social media sets off dopamine. I need to reprogram for more constructive reward. Yeah, reward happy feelings. Yeah, well, I have to tell you, having been on social media for a long time and having written viral pieces on the blog a number of times, it's there is the algorithm, and it is there to incite the lower brainstem, or at least the amygdala, right? The aggressions, the little aggression center there in your brain, at least on Facebook and also on YouTube too. I mean, people do click on things that make them angry, that give you, and it's part of the system. That's how people make money.
You know what? I have something to say about that.
Yeah.
Because, I had noticed that, like, all this stuff that whatever site, wherever you're visiting on the internet, they have a feed that they want to show you these things, and I purposely do not look at that,
Hmm.
and I will only deal with like the things that I subscribe to, and I'm only looking at my notifications that I turn on because
Yeah.
I want to see this person's material. I won't go through my feed where they suggest stuff, and then oftentimes I'll sit there and I'll just put not interested, not
That's
interested.
good, dude. That's smart.
Do not show me this channel.
I will say this is that I will look at videos that suggested for me, um, because I think the videos that I watch, what videos do I really click on that are suggested? Stuff about the Franco-Prussian War, maybe, right? Or stuff about mythicism. So a lot of those videos, sure, YouTube tries to send me trash, but I want nothing to do with it. I don't click on it. If I'm going to invest 6 minutes, 12 minutes, an hour of my time, it's not going to be on what I feel is shitty content. Yeah.
A lot of what YouTube suggests to me is stuff about old computers and science and technology and stuff like that, because that's kind of stuff I watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. What was I? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, controlling what you see, and not letting the social media sites
Yeah.
they're not really telling you. It's suggestions. They are suggesting.
Well,
But
I think what capitalism does, unregulated capitalism, makes smart people smarter. Typically, it makes dumb people dumber, and it makes the moderately intelligent people dumber too. I mean, it's horrible, but there has to be a I'm thinking there has to be a peer-reviewed study somewhere that that shows that. I'd be willing to put money that's where the smart money is that smart people get smarter via the algorithm, because because you will get smart stuff sent to you by clicking on certain things, right? So if you're watching science, you will get predominantly science stuff, like Grant was saying. But if you're not really focused on really good content, you will get shoveled shit, and it will be shoveled at you consistently whenever you're online.
yeah.
Hey, well, thank you, Theo, for being part of the group, for being part of your favorites. I appreciate that. I do think I offer a particular perspective that most atheist channels don't have.
Yeah, the advanced middle-aged white guy perspective.
The advanced middle-aged white guy perspective. Angry too. I just want to say that I would like to think the most salient is angry, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
See, this is it, John Hudson. You let your grandson use your YouTube channel, and now it messed up all your Al Gore stuff. Well, there you go. There you go. I can see why you'd want to be protective of how YouTube thinks who you are in the world. Interesting. Yeah. So I get what do I do in the mornings? I when I wake up in the morning, we're talking about what we do before work. Of course, I do this before work, and I also typically do a blog post and then catch up on news. That's what I do in the mornings before showing up here, just so that I know in case the world is ending, in case there's something really new coming up, then I should talk about. Yeah.
Well, you don't want to miss the news story about the world ending, because you could end up going into work for nothing.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, let's say there's a zombie infestation. Why would you want to leave the house if there are zombies mucking about, right? Mm-hmm. You should be boarding up windows at that point.
Yeah. Preparing.
You're preparing, yes.
Yeah. But the first thing I'm up to is obviously turning off my alarm clock, but it's one of the first things I'm checking out the chat and saying hello, and trying to think of something funny to say.
That's good.
I've liked starting my day off with trying to find something funny to say, find some kind of joke.
Yeah, and humor makes the medicine go down a bit easier, right?
Heck yeah.
Biscuit is doing well. She's Biscuit the cat, our cat, the girlfriend's my cat, or I don't know, is it our? And she's part of the system here in the house. Biscuit's been doing well, and she looks at me oddly when I come down, because what happens is that when I wake up, I typically go from the bedroom down to the couch, because I find that just switching spots can help my brain sleep. So I walked down here at maybe 2:30 this morning, maybe 3 o'clock this morning, and the cat's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Because the cat's asleep in its little cat perch. And she always has. It's Biscuit's house now. That's right. It is Biscuit's house.
Yeah. My cat is currently melted into my lap.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
I've been trying to get there's cats around here that I think they are domesticated cats, but I think most of them are just kind of outdoor cats.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to get some to interact with me, and there's one that will stop and is more curious about me, but I haven't quite gotten it to make contact yet. Make that first contact.
First contact. Look at you. Yeah. I hear food helps.
Yes. No, it does. Yeah. My scraps, they have a certain spot, and there's that we put them at, and we see the possums, the raccoons, and stuff. See the wildlife.
Yeah, the only wildlife we have really here are rats and rabbits. We do have a fair amount of rabbits. You know what's odd too is around this time of year, you'll see a fair amount of turkeys running around Boston and in Cambridge and Harvard Square. Turkeys are, I don't know, they're just mucking about quite a bit.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like all the little outdoor, creatures. I enjoy feeding them.
Yeah.
I think some people. I mean, there is good reason because the little small furry ones, they're cute and stuff, but you there are some beasts out there that are a little more aggressive. I might be inviting some to come in, like chicken coops. Like if you get a chicken coop,
Yeah.
you're inviting snakes. You're inviting the coyotes, the wolves.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, predators go where the prey are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see that too. My brother, my half brother up in New York, he has like, I think it's like 50 chickens. He has like two large coops of 50 chickens, and
Man, that's a lot.
that's like, yeah, I mean, and just having like four chickens is a lot. Dr. Tom Fuller, what are you sharing? Chickens?
No, wildlife in my backyard.
Oh, wildlife in your backyard. All right, let's go. Oh, wow. Very nice.
Uh, for a while, there was quite the colony of just cats in my neighborhood, but lately it's been lower.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good wildlife to have. Beats rats, I'll tell you that. 420 asks, isn't this a bad time of year to be a turkey? I think the great cull has already occurred, but I see what your point is there, 420. Yeah, this is turkey season coming up. So the girlfriend and I, this is going to be our second vegetarian Thanksgiving. And so what I want to do, I just want to dedicate it to stuffing, to tell you the truth.
Mm.
I want to do the most unhealthy thing I can and just explore stuffing. Maybe deep fried some stuffing. I don't know. Maybe stuffing cubes fried up. I don't know. I have all these concepts, these plans, and so yeah.
I've been making somewhat of an effort to be more vegetarian.
Yeah.
And I've found seeds, a lot of different seeds, from cashews, the pistachios. Like I've been enjoying those a lot more and like snacking on those a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah, the vegetarian thing wasn't as much of an issue for me since the girlfriend and I did it together. You know, um, what was really difficult for me was eating healthier because you can eat like shit if you're a vegetarian. Um, I went heavy on the cheese.
Oh,
Went heavy on the cheese when I became a vegetarian, but now I don't know if I'm eating healthy, but I'm not eating as much shit. That's for sure.
And my favorite thing is that Oreos are technically vegan.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Even the double stuff. I imagine the double stuff is.
the thing, like for myself, I can, going without meat is all right, but like I kind of run up on this like, how far should I make my kids not eat meat?
Oh yeah.
Like
Well, it's a good question.
I have not gotten myself to where like
Yeah.
I have not wrapped my mind around that.
Yeah. For me, my kid, my youngest, when she was about 8 or 9, this is way before I became a vegetarian. Asked her doctor about when we were in for a physical. She asked her doctor about becoming a vegetarian, and the doctor's answer, and she's a good doctor, was like, "Hey, just wait until your growth spurt is over before you start playing around with becoming a vegetarian." And it's like, all right, well, I think that's a prudent answer.
Yeah.
Um,
If you're a vegetarian, you kind of have to pay attention to exactly what you're eating because it's harder to guarantee that you get everything.
yeah,
Because it's easy to miss certain things because some things are like only certain plants will actually give you stuff. Well, if you
I
just
know,
eat whatever, it's easier to just randomly be able to get what you need.
Yeah. Probably the most wooish thing I do in the course of a day is to take a multivitamin. Um, I know there isn't a lot of hard data, or any data, good data, showing that multivitamins actually do anything for you. But I know with my weird diet, I'm probably not getting everything that I need. So, you know, um, I, for me at least, I play it safe. And even as the
Yeah.
words come out of my mouth, it's like Andy Hall, you probably don't need a multivitamin, but I do it anyway. All right.
I mean, it can't really be that can't be bad though. I mean, you're
Yeah,
not like eating a bottle of them a day.
I'm not.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you're eating just one, yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I'm not super dosing on vitamin A, for an example, trying to get like night vision or something crazy.
And make sure you're not eating a multivitamin that isn't tightly regulated and has lead and whatnot just
Yes.
randomly in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do. You know, I could. Okay, I'm going to end here because I got to go to work. I actually have to sign some papers here for work. So I'll see everyone later. Maybe on the other end of the weekend. Maybe on Monday. Well, I'm definitely going to be here on Monday. I don't think I'm streaming this weekend, but I'm not sure. But thanks, Tobin. Thanks, Dr. Tom Fillery. Thanks, everyone in the chat. I am dying for an Arby's sandwich. You're fucking right, John Hudson. I loved Arby's. I love roast beef sandwiches. Take care. Shamala hamla, everyone.
Shamla hamla.
And I'm